everyone, and welcome to another Hero Arts video. It's Sherry Carroll here to bring you holiday pocket cards. I have this great sketch idea that allows you to decorate the card as usual on the front side, but yet hold a gift card or check or cash on the inside. I'll be starting off with an 8.5 by 11 Hero Hughes piece of paper, and I'll use my cutter here, and I'm going to cut this to 4 1/4 by 11. And I always call this the hot dog cut because you end up with like 2 sides of a hot dog bun. So now that I have that cut, I can start my scoring. I always use my Martha Stewart scoreboard. I think it's one of the best scoring tools there is available. So it has a handy little place to hold the bone folder. So to score my paper, I'll start at 1.5 inches, and that will be my inside pocket. So once I have that scored, I'm going to move over 5.5 inches and score again at the 7-inch mark. So my card size will be the regular standard 5.5 by 4 1/4 card. And next I'll go ahead and just crease my folds, and at this point I like to line up my 2 lines here, my segment, and then go ahead and press this in place. And then I can grab my bone folder and go ahead and crease my folds nice and crisp. So just run your bone folder on the folds and everything will lie flat. Now I'm ready to do my stamping, and I have my houndstooth here, and even though the card has been creased, it still kind of bounces open. So I'm using a repositional tape runner, and I'll just be placing a little bit of adhesive on the inside just to hold this flat while I do my stamping. So now it won't pop open while I'm trying to stamp the front side. So now I'll be inking up my stamp with the chalk ink, and this is Iris color, the Hero Hughes Iris chalk ink, and I like to really get good coverage, as you know. Every time I do a video, this is probably the boringest part. I feel it's better to take my time with this part than to have to redo the card. So I always go over a couple times, especially if I have a clean stamp. So once I have that inked, I now will place my card onto the ink stamp. And again, I'll take my time to line this up. And once I have this in place, I'll go ahead and press around, just rubbing my fingers around just to get a really good impression. And again, I feel it's best to take your time when doing this instead of having to redo the card completely over again. So if you notice, you hold one hand in place and move the other fingers around and just kind of press it down in place. And now you have perfect stamping. The next part of my card, I've pre-white embossed my Christmas tree, and this is on watercolor paper. And I'm using peeled paint distress ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and press this on in. And I'm giving it pretty good pressure as I press this in. I want to make sure it's solidly covered. And now I'm using Forest Moss distress ink, and it's a really nice dark green. And I'll be blending this in a little bit, not too much because it is a very dark ink. And so once again, I'll put my peeled paint just to fill in the other areas. So once I have that covered, I'll just kind of pat my Forest Moss around, just blend it in a little bit with my finger. And I do like to use my fingers a lot because they're non-absorbent. And now I'm cleaning it off with the baby wipe just a little bit. So once you have your ink down, I'm going to be using Perfect Pearls mixed with water, and I like to give that a nice shake. And this is with the Mister bottle. I do like to blend my own instead of using the pre-mixed. So about 1 foot away, I'll be giving this about 5 sprays of water. And then I like to pick this up and kind of move it around to see how my ink's blending. And as you can see, it's pretty liquid, and it moves around on that watercolor paper. I do feel it's a little dark in this area, so I'm blotting this with a baby wipe. And now I can give it a little bit of spray again, and as you can see, it kind of lightens it up and the ink moves around. So while my tree is drying, I'm going to go ahead and start assembling my card, and I'm just kind of wiping off my repositional tape that I have on the inside. And I've border punched some white cardstock, and I'll just be adhering this to this green paper, and this is also the Hero Hughes layering papers. So I'll just go ahead and adhere this down in place, and that gives me a nice little trim inside the circles. So once I have that trimmed up, I'll go ahead and run my adhesive on the back side of this piece, and I'll go ahead and adhere it in place on the front of the card. Once I'm done with that, I can just snip the ends off with my scissors. To save some time, I've already wrapped the card with some green ribbon and tied a bow. So now I'm running my tape runner on the inside of the card on my flap, just on the side edges. So just on the very sides. So now I can slide in a gift card or a check or cash. And for this size of card, you can either put your gift card vertical or horizontal. So it fits in there just perfect. And now that my tree is dry, I can go ahead and put this onto my card. So I've just put some adhesive on the back side. And I have my Hero Hues Floral Mixed Accents here, and it's a great combination of purple colored pearls and gems. And I'm just peeling them off, and I'm just placing them where the little circles of the tree are. And I'll go ahead and randomly place pearls next to gems and light colors next to dark until I have the entire tree filled up. I absolutely love the combination of purple and green together. I hope you do too. So here's another look at the finished card, and it's just bright and cheery, ready for Christmas. Also, here is the card, the same card idea, but this time I've put it on its side, so it has like a side pocket. So using the same sketch idea, you can do many variations. And again, here is another card using the same sketch idea. This one is much like a library pocket type card. Go ahead and adhere the entire flap on the bottom and just the sides of the larger flap. And then you create a little insert with a little string or ribbon at the top, and you can insert a gift card into that little insert. So here's the 3 card ideas with the same type of sketch idea. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on holiday pocket cards. Please remember to visit us at www.heroarts.com for more inspiration and ideas. Thanks for watching!